It's time for some football. Welcome to Northwest Stadium in Landover. Tonight, a fun one on tap for us. It's the New York Jets and the Washington Commanders. Nick Folk, correct. To do the honors. And we're off and running from Landover. Moore with a return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jaden Daniels.
Kate, when you partner a relentless work ethic with elite athleticism, you get Jaden Daniels. He put on an absolute show. One of the best rookie years in the history of the game for a quarterback. And with a work ethic and speed and arm, I don't know why he would ever slow down.
Finds him on the crossing route. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Second and 3 now.
Brings up second and 3 at the 28-yard line.
This is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt getting it for the first time. Hop behind the line here on second down, which is only going to make things tougher for this third down coming up. Man, some of these middle backers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
Lofts it deep right side. Ooh, almost an opening drop pick, but he couldn't hang on. He dropped it for the potential turnover. Winds up on the ground. Does they'll bring up fourth down. So they couldn't throw for it on third down, and as a result, they're headed up the field earlier than expected on their opening series.
Keeping them off the scoreboard, well, that's already a win defensively. Not letting them even cross midfield, that's the cherry on top.
Looking to return from the 29. That'll be the first and more. And it return for him, up past their own 40. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. And bringing them out now, a quarterback who really knows how to make something exciting happen.
Don't think for a second, Kate, he hasn't heard the noise. Read the comments from the keyboard warriors who say they just want somebody else leading this team. But let me let you in on a little secret. Those criticisms, they can fuel quarterbacks. Make that chip on the shoulder even bigger to prove people wrong and to show they really do belong in this league.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Taylor. Looking in trouble now, and the ball is out. And the Commanders get to it first.
Well, you can just see the QB scanning, can't you? He's moving, he's looking downfield, but everything covered up on the back end. That second and third level defenders did their job, and what did it do? Well, free that pass rush up to strip the ball away from the QB.
Here comes the Washington offense out to the field, ready for their second drive. And they haven't gotten very far into their opening script yet, have they? Just a 3 and out to begin this game.
Let's go. Cougar 19. Ready.
On first down, here's Daniels. Caught by Deebo Samuel. And it'll be 1st and goal. Stop is made at the 5-yard line.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They've got 3 tight ends on this 1st and goal, thinking run or play action.
Come on, set. Ready.
1st and goal, Krosky Merritt. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock him backwards.
And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. He gets 2 on that run. That brings up 3rd and goal.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Daniels. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And the defensive down away from completing this stand. It's 4th and goal. Here's Jake Moody for the field goal. From 28 yards away.
28-yard attempt.
could say they picked a great time to block the kick, but let's be honest. Any time is a great time to get through and block one. It really rewards the effort that those special teamers put in each and every time out. It might not always get noticed, but it sure does there. Big time.
Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. And I'm sure they all got a stern lecture on ball security between possessions after they fumbled it away on their last series. Down the field, he's got Wilson. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. That one nabs him 33 yards and a new set of downs, too.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's first down.
Ready? 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Throwing now off the play action. He has all day back there. It's a sack on first down. We'll see if it changes the play they go with now on second.
8 yards. It's second down.
Okay, ready? Ready? 60 Vikings.
Through one quarter, neither side breaking through on the scoreboard. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. time for the second quarter of play. It's Jets football. They have second and pretty long here. To the air, Taylor. On him, and he's dropped again. It's a repeat of... Last play, that's going to bring them to third down.
And it's third down.
Here we go.
Here he goes, third and long. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on third down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. Fourth down coming up.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket. Genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put it in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
This is a heater going deep. And that's incomplete in the end zone. Could have been 6 points, but as that one falls, Brock, instead just a turnover on downs.
You know, these fourth down plays are all about trust. You lean into what you do best. Unfortunately, with the lack of execution, you're going to throw that one off the playlist.
Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45. Here's the backup. First throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up second down.
Brings up second and 15 at the 50-yard line.
Here we go. Punt.
Back to throw. Mariota. Ertz reels it in. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. That's going to bring up third down.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure. You sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
Defender is there. He knocks it away, and that's going to force fourth down.
Safe to say there's been an early disconnect between the planning phase and the execution phase for this offense. Might be time, Kate, really to get back to basics, to the calls that you just trust the most.
So they bring Tress Way back out there for another punt. And that kick will get out of bounds without a return. Looks to be a little shy of reaching the 20. The Jets have their offense ready to go again. By this point, partner, they are through that opening script, through trying to establish their offense, and yet still no points. Thinking it might be time to start switching things up a little bit, tear up the old game plan and start fresh.
Well, I promise you that's what's buzzing on the headsets and over on the sidelines and in the huddle. Got to find a way to just get into some sort of rhythm.
It's a massive 35-yard pickup, first down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot.
Here we go, somebody.
Toss play. This is Hall. Breaks the tackle. Good little whip there. Looks like about 6. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner.
So much to like about that run, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Don't jump.
They give on second to Hall. And this drives him back at a field goal range, Brock, as he stopped for loss of yardage. Tackled on the play by the rookie out of Ole Miss. Now, we are still scoreless in this one as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More coming up from Northwest Stadium. Stick around. Digging deep in the playbook here, and this is 3rd and 11.
Here we go.
To the air on 3rd and long. Going deep here for the end zone. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. Oh, this one is really close, Brock. Did he establish possession and then get both feet down?
Yeah, maintaining possession while being a ballerina, not always easy. A lot to look at here, but I know he thinks he's got a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So upon further review and a consultation from Game Day Central, the call overturned. Nick Folk now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Moore with a return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Washington offense getting set for its next possession. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
They go play action on first down. They'll try and run this. And there's that slide at the end, Brock. Good decision-making there as he picks up close to 8 on that run.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
Throwing off the play fake. He's going to loft one deep to the left. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
The lack of points and the lack of yards have just gone hand in hand here in the first half, and they both really trace back to the same root cause, an inability to consistently find and exploit any opening. And what's been...
Deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. But it looks like someone from the Commanders got to that one. They'll keep the football. The Commanders ready for the punt. It'll be Tress Way doing the honors. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he's going to set him up with a pretty short field here, Brock, after getting a big chunk on that return.
Commanders 35-yard line.
The Jets and receiver Garrett Wilson back out to take possession. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. All set to go now from the 35.
Here we go. Hurry up, hurry up. 258, 258.
Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for first and goal. They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal.
That's good for the Jets.
Here we go.
And he will score. Touchdown, New York. The Jets will add to their lead at the end of the half. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Just a great effort there from him, Brock, to take it upon himself, embrace the initiative, and turn that drive into 6.
You know, Kate, there was a day when you were watching Steve Young or Randall Cunningham, and that felt like a bonus touchdown. But that's not today. It feels like every quarterback's got to be able to score, be a dual threat on the ground. It's part of an offense every single team relies upon.
That one right down the middle. And the Jets double their lead to 14. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. Shoots away from one. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Commanders ready to get their offense out there for the final time in the first half. Not a whole lot of time left for them to put something together here before the break.
Ready, ready.
It's 1st and 10 for their final drive of the half. We've got 23 seconds remaining.
Let's go. Hut, hut.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. And we all saw it. Flag came out just before that one fell incomplete. They may still get some big yards out of this one. So with a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Ready.
Mariota throwing this one back of the end zone. Incomplete pass, and we're down to 12 seconds remaining. So we're working from the 30 as they line this up. 2nd and 10.
It's now
Ready,
2nd and 10
ready.
at the 30-yard
50,
line.
green. Hut, hut.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. All right, timeout taken by the offense. 5 seconds left, and they can take some points into the locker room on this final play of the half. Nice gain and a first down there, Brock, on a throw that most quarterbacks would have shied away from.
You know, tight ends, these guys, about the only position that can make that look routine, fending off a couple defenders, and it's really why, Kate, they're such valuable commodities.
And he scores. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders get their first points of this game just before halftime. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Jake Moody on for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Commanders chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Commanders 7. Jake Moody to kick off.
So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends our half, or if we get a play from scrimmage, as this one's away. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So a one-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hansen. He's got our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hansen and our great crew here in the Orlando studios set for an abridged version of the halftime report. This game, to this point, a little slow to begin with, but in the second quarter, the offenses started finding their way. We hope we're set for a great second half, so let's get back out to the stadium and rejoin our broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Thanks for that update, Scott. Welcome back, everyone, for the third quarter. Touchdown game here as we get you back down to the field.
Jake Moody to kick off.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Wangu now to return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. So to begin the third quarter, the New York offense returning to the field. And they take the field in good but not great shape, Brock. They've got that lead, but no doubt they'd love to see it grow.
Yeah, just having the lead does take some pressure off. It doesn't change the sense of urgency. It's always on tilt in the NFL, but it should allow them to operate a little more freely.
Field's on first down. Connects on the crosser. And he dodged the tackle. And he has this to the opposing 35. Well, it seems like the only thing that's going to be able to stop this guy or even slow him down is going to be that final whistle, Brock. This defense has been inconsistent at best.
This is one of those moments where it just feels like it's a privilege to watch. Right? When you're at a concert and you're just listening to somebody that's the best of the best, you just... You want more. And right now up in this booth, I want to see this guy continue to put on a show.
So the big play moves him well past midfield. Has him set up now at the 35.
19, go!
Here's Taylor to throw. Has it downfield working the left. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. A pickup of 17. And it's good for a New York first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Here we go, here we go!
In the red zone now. Defense is there, and he's going down. For the moment, we've got a sack. We do, though, have a flag to sort out first before we can lock that in. He got a major fistful of jersey on that play, and it's going to end up costing him. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. Taylor. Completed over the middle. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. All right, here we go. Second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up second down at the 21.
We've got a man in motion. Back now, pressure coming. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it 3rd down.
7 yards. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
Come on!
3rd and long for him here. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And that brings up 4th and long. Well, he connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
They kick by Folk is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a two-possession game.
Had the lead at the break, and the important thing is really to come out hot in the second half and add to it. Sure, you love touchdowns, but you'll take those 3 points as well.
It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Moore with a return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he was pushing for midfield there before they finally dragged him down at the 45. The Commanders set to take over. They're down 10 partway through this one. Score is 17-7. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. Krosky Merritt on the zone read. And he's able to get it past midfield and down into the Jets side. Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3.
49-yard line. Here we go. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up
From the gun, it's Daniels. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Then pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
loss of 6 yards. It's now 3rd down and 9.
Get it.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
With how hard it is to get an open look downfield, can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
And this is the punt you want every time. He bounces out of bounds and sticks them inside their own 10. The Jets offense now set to take over. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They start the drive with Hall. This is headed perilously close to their end zone, Brock. That tackle sends them backwards to the 4. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together,
there's pressure, and he's going to be dropped. Well done by the Commanders' defense. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down.
I know the scoreboard doesn't say it, but this has been a winning effort up front defensively. One of the keys to their success was going to be this pass rush and sacking the quarterback, and they can check that box.
Defense nearing a stop. Need to hold once more here on 3rd down.
19, 18.
Hall takes it straight ahead. And this one's good for a 9-yard pickup. It still leaves him short. That brings up 4th down. Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. It's the Jets who have it with a lead, but this win is not secure just yet. Now on 4th down, here's Austin McNamara out to punt for the Jets. And he's in a real tough spot for his first kick. And he gets it away from his end zone. Taken in near the 46. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. 1st down from the 42.
Set, ready.
Here's Mariota now. finds a seam down the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Come on, set.
Mariota. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they've got a little extra distance now to make up here on second down.
Brings up second and 17 at the 30-yard line.
Black one.
Mariota to throw. On him again, and he goes down again. Dose of the hurry-up offense here.
Brings up third down.
Shotgun now on third down. Oh, but he's in trouble and gets brought down again. Offense in the hurry-up here.
A loss of 5. It's fourth down.
Desperation time here on fourth. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And he's at the clear. At the 20. And he's going to score on the pick six. Touchdown, New York. Well, they had to try something there on fourth down, but that throw played right into what the defense was anticipating, Brock, and they make it hurt that much worse by taking the turnover back for 6.
Hey, I'm all for these great group celebrations, and, you know, I'm not Captain No Fun, but one of these times I'd like to see that player run that football over to the D coordinator who predicted that play was coming and really made the right call to create that opportunity.
Folk on now to try the... One after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Jets take a 3-possession lead.
Commanders 7.
A quick chance at redemption after that pick six as it's sent away. Return coming from the 6. Escapes the defender. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort. The Commanders all set to regain possession. And any comeback hopes they may have been entertaining, Brock. Well, they might have left the field after that last pick six.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty incredible things happen in the fourth quarter before, but now a 3-score game coming off of a turnover. Yeah, this one should be likely over.
Look at that power, deep left side. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free, incomplete. Now is Terry McLaurin on the target. And that'll bring up second down. Throwing from the gun here. Into the hands of Terry McLaurin. And no yak this time. They got on him quickly, down at the 32-yard line. To the line and set. Here we go, first down. Throwing is Mariota. Flushed out of the pocket. He's running with it. He's going to be taken down here after he takes it to the 45. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down. Now Mariota. Into the hands of his running back, Crosky Merritt. And he's only able to manage 1 yard, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Mariota. Has him on the quick hitter. And a gain only about 2 before he heads out. That means they're going to face third down.
Just short of midfield.
Ready.
To the air on 3rd and long. Forced out to his right. He's going to run for it. Ooh, and before he can find any yards, he finds that sideline instead. That's going to bring up 4th down.
You know, that play is so indicative of what we see in training camps all over football. Pursue, pursue, pursue. Blanketed coverage on the back end, and look at that defense fly. No gain on the play, Very much feels like a sack for that defense.
And he's down inside the 40 before he's escorted out. Look at that, no worry at all from their sideline, Brock. A 13-yard pickup on 4th down. That was impressive.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Back to throw, Mariota. That's caught. It's McLaurin downfield. And they're going to have 1st and goal as he gets this down to the 4.
Dude, I've probably seen a million balls thrown in my life, and maybe even more. From the time I was in high school all the way here to the pros, and over all these decades of watching guys throw it, and I'll tell you what, I never get tired of watching a laser like that.
Big play got him to the doorstep, Brock. 4 more yards now in goal to go. Krosky Merritt will not challenge for the end zone. He loses a bunch here. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
No, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle.
This is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders get it back to within 2 possessions. Terry McLaurin with the touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate.
Yep.
You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. What makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
On is Moody for the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Commanders cut the lead down to 10.
Commanders 14.
So even after the score, they're still down 2 possessions. Time not exactly on their side as they try this onside kick. And the Jets come up with the football. That's just about ice this game. Well, even with that kick, wasn't much chance of pulling off the late comeback. And now that they've failed to recover, partner, I think we can take the fork out and you know where to put it.
Yeah, they went out swinging. They did everything that they could do, but it just shows you in the NFL, premium for possessions. And when you stall out early and you dig yourself this kind of hole, awfully hard to come back and win.
Now here comes the New York offense. And even after giving up the late touchdown, Brock, still a 2-score game, so you should expect them to be in that victory formation in just a few moments.
You should, but, you know, I just picture Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, the greats in this game, right, over the last few decades. You know, they grinded down every second, never took anything for granted. Got to finish it all the way down to double zeros.
First down. It's a gain of 10. First down, Jets.
They've got first down here from the 36. Man in motion here.
331. Right.
First down, and they go right back to it. Saw the lane, hit it quick, call that a gain of 7. Nicely done. Washington calls it second timeout. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Here we go, Scott. Good night.
All gets it again on second down. Trying to fight free, he can't do so. They've got him behind the line. Now let's see, Brock, if they call their final timeout. Final timeout taken by the Commanders. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. 6 yards to go here. It's third down.
Here we go, Scott. Angel, 319, go.
Air it out on third. Chased out to his right. Making the call himself. And they are set up excellently. This is down to the 18. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that's good for a Jets first down.
Here we go.
The outcome's decided here, but we got a timeout with 2 seconds on the clock so they can think it over before their final play.
Here we go.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down.
Right.
Fields with a chance to run it here. So it's a road win for the Jets. Well, as they celebrate to the boos of the home crowd, I'm sure you're having flashbacks, buddy. It's got to be music to their ears, hearing those fans voice their displeasure.
It is so sweet, Kate, when you win on the road for a couple of reasons. Yeah, I do remember. I remember silencing those road crowds. There's no better feeling than to hear, those boos and those cheers and all that noise just silence because you beat them in their building. You know the other great sound? The plane ride home. Those are some of the greatest memories you have to celebrate that road victory and a whole road trip home to take it all in.